Recording? All right, welcome everyone. I'm Lynn Woodland. This is the Miracles course, a year-long program on how to live a miraculous life. Each one of these sessions is like a little bite-sized piece in the lifetime process, really, of spiritual mastery. It's not just about how to manifest a goal. It really is about how to raise the overall quality of life. And I based this course on a lot of my own experience and learning and teaching over, a 50-year career in studying and teaching what gives rise to miraculous experience. I'm the author of a couple of books about miracles. The first one is called Holding a Butterfly, and the second one is called The Breakthrough Point, a spiritual activist guide to thriving in modern times, which, I finished that book in 2017. I would say it's more relevant now than it was then. It looks at why the times are a little crazy and what that says in terms of human evolution, how to ride the waves instead of being pummeled underneath. So if you're feeling pummeled these days, I recommend that book. I really do. Anyway, we are now in the month of February. I use the seasons as a context for the spiritual work we do here, because the seasons provide this lovely template for the whole of human growth, and death, rebirth, beginnings, endings. And in the month of February, in this later part of winter, well, we're in the month of Valentine's Day. We're getting closer and closer to spring. And February in particular, I like to give attention to relationships, how we interact with other people. And that's what we've been doing for the last couple of weeks. Today, I want to focus in on how to really receive the gifts other people have for us. We're going to do this kind of, I think it's kind of a fun spiritual exercise. But just to introduce it a bit, in 1983, when I was just like a little baby sprout, I started a volunteer staff organization that offered a lot of alternative support services to people who are dealing with pretty serious life-challenging illnesses. And I use Jerry Jampolsky's Center for Attitudinal Healing as a model. A lot of people haven't heard about him anymore, but in the 80s, he was big stuff. He was on all the big-name talk shows, going on with his group of kids who had been diagnosed with all kinds of terrible diseases, a lot of them not expected to live. And he would teach these very simple principles of attitudinal healing that he drew from A Course in Miracles, simplified down into 12 very simple principles, such as love is letting go of fear, just very simple things. Giving and receiving are the same. And he just noticed that kids who were expected to die didn't. They went into remission. They healed. They lived long, happy lives. And I was inspired. I just wanted to do that too. With a group of others, like-minded people, we started a center. I became the director. And we didn't use professional counselors. And instead, we paired clients with volunteers who just received some training in how to listen compassionately, to see everyone as a teacher, because that's one of the principles. We are all students and teachers to each other. And to define healing as a process of joining in love with others rather than fixing them. And the healing that resulted between these volunteers and clients, it was miraculous, very moving. And not only did we see people who weren't professional counselors, just seemed to know exactly the right thing to do or say when they were coming from a place of love, but the traditional roles of helper and client just really quickly disappeared. And the learning and receiving flowed both ways. Everybody was having miracles. People who were ill, people who were well-bodied volunteers were just seeing miraculous things happen in their lives. And people who were too ill to even leave their beds often became the most amazing teachers and would become support people to others, becoming not pen pals, but phone pals to people who were housebound and also, in a very down and out place, and people who felt weak and useless and like they had nothing to give suddenly recognized in themselves the empowered teacher, and they would often improve physically when somebody simply recognized and appreciated the gifts they still had to give. And I have found that so often with people, even in dementia, in late stage dementia, people living what other people would think of as their worst nightmare, often can become the most amazing teachers if we are willing to learn from them. They often have something that we don't have ourselves that we need. And we just tune them out because that's my worst nightmare. You just need help. You have nothing to teach me. But that's never the case. That we are all students and teachers to one another is a foundational principle of the whole attitudinal healing movement, because there were, and there still are, many centers for attitudinal healing around the world. And I find this principle to be profoundly true. And it's one that doesn't require a high intensity of catastrophic illness to manifest, of course. It's our true relationship to one another at all times, even though we're often blind to it. Everyone we encounter has something to offer us. Even if we believe this to be a great idea, we're still likely to go through life thinking only certain people have the love, the support, the approval, the wisdom that we need and want. And we deem other people to be unattractive, annoying, invisible, have nothing that we want or value or need. So the focus this week is to make very real and concrete the truth that everyone has a gift for us. And the more we're willing to believe this and seek it out, the more we truly will find it. What we give attention to, we magnify. What we see in others, we tend to call forth, whether it's their highest or their lowest behavior. And believing in the goodness and wisdom of others really is the key that unlocks this huge flow of riches from people who didn't even know themselves that they had it to give, weren't even trying to give it. It's what makes the difference between, I think, experiencing life as barren and lonely or an abundant feast. What if when we're having a miserable day, we're feeling all alone in life, everybody hates us, nobody loves us, and we just go to the grocery store and we just shine our light to the person we meet over the tomatoes, just smile at that person, just say something like, I just love the t-shirt you're wearing. Just have this moment of, that can change both your and the other person's whole day, because you've been willing to see that person unlock their gifts It may just be primarily an energy transmission. It's not about the words. There's an energetic transmission that happens that's mutual, that takes you all higher. You become a change agent, and you receive from that interaction. And the exercises this week bridge all the illusionary divides of time and distance, as well as the emotional separateness we create through our personalities. Even the veil of death, we're even going to transcend that, perhaps, to connect with the highest essence of others in order to receive the gifts they have for us. For any of you who came to the workshop I did with Emily that I do in October of Messages Beyond the Veil, that's what we do with our loved ones who've crossed over. They still have gifts to give if we are willing to receive. So here we go. Let's just dive into this. Might be good to have pen and paper handy for this. I always suggest that as a general rule. Tonight, you really want it. So run and get that real quick. And begin by bringing to mind someone who's a special teacher to you. It could be a person you know. It could be someone you only know through their work. An author, a world leader, a historical figure, and it could be someone either living or passed over. So bring that person to mind, have your writing materials handy, and then just get comfortable in your seat to go into a meditative place. And just get comfortable in your seat. Just relax. Take some deep breaths. And quiet your thoughts. As you let your body relax and you just watch the rhythm of your breath, that just naturally just helps you go into a deeper, quieter place. And as you allow that stillness to just come over you, we're going to go through quickly this time the stages of refining heart energy that we've been doing here in recent weeks. Last week in particular, we went pretty deep into this. We're going to go through it fairly quickly. Where you begin by picturing just a beautiful center of light at your heart. And this center of light pulses energy to your whole body. It's just very beautiful, soft light and energy that relaxes you and heals you. It's kind of like stepping into a warm, bubbling hot tub on a cold day, and everything in you just goes, ah, ah. And as you just allow that all through your body, send a wave of energy from your heart up to your head, around your third eye, to awaken a light center there, an energy center. And this light quiets your thoughts, and it opens your higher mind, your higher wisdom. So see that happening. Aha. And when you can just see that center around your head, around your third eye, bright and lit up, send a ray of light from this place at your third eye to the area of your solar plexus, down to your gut. And this light stimulates your will to love, your will to love, your passion to love, so that all other emotions that interfere with love are now absorbed into this powerful, fiery light center at your solar plexus and digested kind of like in an alchemical vessel. They're digested and all the pain and negativity are released, and only the pure energy remains. And this energy again becomes the passion to love, and so you send it from your solar plexus up to your heart, where your heart then projects it outward beyond you and your body, outward as unconditional love. And this flow from your heart forms a magnetic aura of love and light and healing that extends far beyond your body. And as you start to imagine that, and if it's hard to imagine or see or feel, just hold the thought of it. That's enough. That's enough. Our thoughts are that powerful. And now bring to mind the person you picked as your special teacher. And if you find yourself unexpectedly thinking of someone else instead, go with it. Trust the new direction. Because once you've awakened your higher mind, your inner wisdom might guide you to a different teacher for a reason. And direct the energy from your heart to this person. And having done all the preceding steps to refine this energy, you now send love that's free of conditions, that's free of personal agendas, love that's not grasping for anything. It's purely and freely given. And you picture it as a beautiful emanation of light and love flowing to this being. And as you do this, imagine that you're sending them the raw materials that are going to flow back to you in whatever form of unique gifts their soul has to offer you. And think of this light from your heart joining with their light. See it awakening and calling forth the highest in them. And as you flow love to this person, feel it as an overflowing of gratitude for all that you've received and all the gifts yet to come. And now imagine this person's higher self now coming to you with a message or a gift. And at the level of our higher selves, we're all part of one mind. We're all joined in love. So whether or not you've ever met this person, trust that they are here out of deepest love for you. Know that you are truly in the presence of this being's soul, even though it may feel that you're making it up. Because imagination is a doorway into intuition. And as you visit with this being in your imagination, they may speak to you, sharing information, reassurance, or guidance. They may show you something visually, or they may simply radiate love and healing. It may come through as a nonverbal transmission. May come through simply as energy. It may come through as ideas that will become conscious in time, and feel it being received by your heart as pure, authentic love, and your whole body absorbs this transmission of energy, turning it into whatever healing and wisdom and clarity you need. Now, another way to receive these transmissions is to imagine yourself in the role of your teacher, seeing yourself from your teacher's view. And in this role, speak to yourself. Offer wisdom, healing, whatever gifts you, and as seeing through this other being's eyes, whatever gifts you think are most needed. And if you, your real self, has a request or question, put that forth. And as you step out of yourself into your teacher's role, respond. It's okay to feel like you're just making it up and telling yourself a good story, because that's how we start to tap intuition. And take just a moment with this meeting. If you want to make any notes, do that. And just allow it to progress in the most natural, organic way. Okay, say thank you to your helper. Say goodbye for now, knowing that you can have a visit anytime you want, because we're all one in the mind of God. We are one. We're not going to end this meditation yet, though. We're going to do it again. This time, it's going to bring to mind another person. This is going to be your most challenging relationship. The last person on earth you would ever imagine having gifts for you. Maybe it's the person you most love to hate. You know, that one. Yes, that one. Yeah, bring to mind that one. And with this one, you might need, and you don't have to believe it's going to take you anywhere. Just go with it for a minute. You may need to give a little extra attention to the steps of refining your own energy so that you clear away the negative drama and filters your personality has constructed that keep you from experiencing love with this person. So, go again. Start by feeling the love energy at your heart that pulses through your whole body. It's all through you now, healing you, relaxing you, quieting the thoughts that want to defend against this challenging relationship. and you relax. And now you send this energy from your heart up to your head, to your third eye area, to awaken your higher mind so that it sees the reason for love. So even when love feels difficult, go to that place where your mind sees that love is the most sensible option. And wake it up. See the light turn on. And now send light from your head down to your stomach to awaken your will to love. You might imagine this as a wise teacher taking a younger, more volatile person by the hand, calming them down, talking gently about the reason we all love no matter what. How it's so self-serving, how it heals us and lifts the world around us. That wise teacher that is your inner wisdom is telling that more volatile person at your solar plexus that really, really, it is quite sensible to love. And that starts this energetic vessel that is your gut, transforming all the emotions in the way of love into a powerful passion to love, into a desire to follow this wise guidance to love. It just churns, it burns all the negativity, poof, turns it back to pure energy, pure usable energy for good. And let this energy flow back to your heart, where it's now projected outward as a strong emanation of love to this other person who has in the past been so challenging to love. And imagine this powerful vibration of love awakening your ability to see in this individual, somewhere, maybe deeply buried, a wise, loving, spiritual being, which is what each of us is. Every human that has ever been born has somewhere in their being a wise spiritual being, because we are all parts of God. We are all God. And imagine just believing in the highest in this individual, because as we do that, we call it forth. So as you're able to do that, you've put aside whatever love-denying dance your personality has been in with this individual, because denying love only hurts us more than anyone else. It hurts the one denying love. And just as with your mentor, your highest, wisest teacher, imagine this being has important wisdom and guidance and healing, even love for you. It may be completely different from the last teacher. It may be a perspective that you would never even think of, because this person is so different from your sensibilities. So as you did with the last person, let yourself open to receive. In fact, you might want to put yourself in the role of other, coming to you as a teacher. And you have brought to this new teacher the most important issue in your life, the one you are most struggling with or working with or opening to, what is it? If you were to bring your deepest question about life to the wisest teacher, what would it be? Bring it to this other now, to this being. The most important question of your life. And imagine that the higher self of this person, this one who has so challenged you, has an important piece of guidance, insight, or healing that you wouldn't receive anywhere else. One you would have completely missed had you not opened yourself to receive it. And see what it is. Maybe it'll come as you put yourself in the role of this other. Maybe you will just hear this other speak to you. It's okay to feel like you're just making up a good story. But don't be surprised to receive a surprisingly different view with a perspective worth considering. And if nothing specific comes, simply let this assistance be communicated as a nonverbal transmission of energy that is some way going to heal, awaken, and guide us in the right way at the right time. You know, the people we love to hate the most really are screens for our own shadow, some disembodied part of ourselves. And as long as that part of us stays disembodied, it holds a piece of our power. So truly, this person does hold some piece of our power that we need to be whole. Allow it to come through. Let it come through. Maybe make some notes. And notice what you experience. And end by thanking this soul for their gifts. Just hold the intention that you no longer need to do this dance, the same dance of putting this person out of your heart. Even if you see this person's behavior as wrong, there's no reason ever to have to validate wrong behavior. And there's also no need to put any other soul out of your heart. The more you can keep everybody in your heart, the more powerful you become and the less vulnerable you are to other people's wrong behavior. So hold that intention around this individual to keep them in your heart and to thank them for their gifts. And then gently, just bring your attention back to the rhythm of your breath. Inhale deeply, exhale again a couple of times, and come back. You might want to have a drink of water to just ground and come all the way back. So I want to open it up for sharing questions and comments. And if you're willing, put your video on again so we can see you all and we can see each other, especially as we speak. And